What's up out there? We got the big announcement that Path of Exile 1's 326 League has been delayed indefinitely. And my first thought was the whole meme of, oh no. Anyway, I have complete apathy. I am completely done with Path of Exile 2. I bounced off of it. I didn't like it. I quit playing it at Christmas time. So I've been completely out of the Path of Exile grinding gear games ecosystem for a month. And now I don't have a date of when I'm going to come back. I saw POC started a new league and there was 20,000 people signed up. And for the briefest flicker of a second, I was like, nah, I'm not going to bother with it. I thought about it for a quick second. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to come back. Now, I am a diehard player. I've been playing Path of Exile 1 since middle of 2023, and I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary of playing this. I've religiously played every league since the very end of Crucible League. I play through the league. I play through almost the whole league. I take a small break, start the next one, and I just keep going. I've pushed so many games to the side to play Path of Exile. What am I doing right now? And I know I'm a count of 1 on this, but what am I doing right now? I am not playing Path of Exile at all. Like, not at all. I'm not playing it. Where do you think these 400,000 people let me back up. These are numbers from Steam. This all-time peak for PoE 1 is before Path of Exile 2 came out. This is the hype leading up to it when we got 325 Calgary League here in July. And it says June, but I don't know. I don't know why it was June and not July, but at any rate, the all-time peak was with the Calgary League that came out just before PoE 2 launched, right? Now we got this big number over here, 578,000, but you look at the number over here, we've only got 163,000 24-hour peak. Now, you may look at this and say, man, they're retaining a lot of numbers, and they are good. This is great. This is absolutely phenomenal. But here's the thing I don't think people are looking at, and I was thinking about this morning. There are 400,000 people off of the list, completely off of the list, right? So this number is 400,000 less than this one, if my math is correct. That number is not reflected up here at all. Where did these players go? If you go to Reddit and look at the Diablo 4 forums, look at Last Epoch, go look at Grim Dawn, go look at any other ARPG that's out there. And I know people will tail off and go play other games naturally, but think about this for a second. You've now lost 400,000 people. And speaking from my point of view, I'm done with PoE 2. Whether I love it or hate it, I don't care. I'm done with it. I'm not coming back until they do a patch. So now I have to wait. And doubly, I'm not coming back to PoE 1 until they do a league. So now my money and my time are devoted to other games. 400,000 other people have said the same thing. What would draw those people in and potentially bump this all-time peak for PoE 1? Logic would dictate that it's going to take a fairly significant amount of time to retool Path of Exile 2. What could you churn out fairly quickly into an already established game that already has a good player base that's ready and willing to play a game that could potentially pick up some of the 400,000 or 500,000? Let's just say they pick up another few 100,000 people off of this that come over here, and now we've got 300 and some thousand instead of this. You're now retaining the player base into your ecosystem to sell cosmetics and all that other stuff to, versus bleeding them all off to Diablo 4. And guess where the better experience is? Diablo 4. I can't believe I'm saying this. I stopped playing Path of Exile 2 because I hated the experience, the slow, crappy movement speed, the piss poor build diversity that we get, the shitty loot drops. I quit playing that to go play Diablo 4, where I have a lot of build diversity. My character moves pretty fast. I get a ton of loot. I get so much loot. I'm kind of bored with the amount of loot that I get in Diablo 4. So you go from one side of the spectrum to the complete opposite, and you have a much better experience. It's fun. I enjoy it. Where am I going to take my dollars and my time? Well, not here, and I don't have an outlet here. So, in my opinion, I think it was a huge misstep to not have a PoE1 326 league ready for February. I could care less, to be honest with you. Me personally, I'm happy to move on and go do other things because for the last close to 2 years, I have been chained to PoE1, and I say that lovingly. I've been chained to it nonstop, and now I get a breather to go play all the other games that I've been wanting to play. I got time, and I don't have a league to sit and tie me up. So that's my take. I think it's a mistake. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot to try to save these numbers down here when they could have kept. They have a product that they've been developing for many years that they could just throw a league together and get it out and keep the player base happy, or watch all the numbers bleed off and go to everybody else. And I'm still floored that I wish I could find the comment that I saw, but it was on the last Epoch. Their news cycle starts in April, and people were excited for that because there's no Path of Exile news for who knows how long. And if they can't give us a date, that means we're probably not going to get anything for PoE2 in February. Probably going to go into March before they give us anything, maybe April. And that means that Path of Exile 1's league is going to take another month or two to develop, after that, generously a month or two. So we're probably looking at a full 1 year league for PoE1. That is remarkably bad, in my opinion. Because this number's going up, you could have retained some of this number going down into this one and kind of mixed the two together and maybe had, I don't know, a combined total of, if this came back to 200,000, let's just say this came back to 200,000 and this stayed at 163,000 or 150,000 or 125 combined, that's more than this. But anyway, I'm not a businessman. I'm just a fan of the game that has kind of moved on to other games. And the more I think, like I said, the more I was thinking about this today, I was like, this seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot to spite their face. Like they're trying to chase this, but they could have blended both of these together and probably had a better outcome and had more supporter packs going out and stuff like that. Right now, who's going to be buying supporter packs? Nobody new's coming in to play PoE2. Nobody's playing PoE1. So everything goes down. Big numbers dropping constantly. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.